Today's episode was co-produced with the EPFL Entrepreneur Club, a new student association which promotes entrepreneurship on the EPFL campus through community building, entrepreneurship events, and services to startups. Over the next 5 weeks, we will be taking you on a journey through the Swiss Romandy to highlight the stories of students, researchers, and entrepreneurs, and find out more about all the exciting initiatives around the EPFL Lausanne.
You don't need to be perfect in one thing. For me, for example, I prefer to do more different things.
Welcome to the Swisspreneur Show, a podcast about startup stories and hands-on learnings from experienced entrepreneurs. Here's your host, Sylvain.
Tatiana, a very warm welcome to the Swisspreneur Show. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you, Sylvain. Nice to meet you and to talk to you today.
You are the president at START Lausanne. You are also the head of communications EPFL at the Swiss Solar Boat Initiative, and also a bachelor student in communication systems at the EPFL in Lausanne. You have many different hats and are very active in the local ecosystem. But today we're going to focus on your role as president at START Lausanne. And, to start off here, what actually motivated you to start or to join the START initiative in Lausanne, better said?
Yes, so START Lausanne was created in 2005. So I joined START 1 year and a half ago. So START is an association on the EPFL and UNIL campus who aims to promote entrepreneurship among students. And our primary goal is to raise awareness of the entrepreneurial world among students, but also to provide support to those who would like to start their own idea.
Fantastic. And what was actually appealing or motivating for you to join this initiative in the first place?
I heard about the START Summit in St. Gallen. I had some friends in this university, so I visited them. I saw the START Hack and also the START Summit, and I was I just want to be in this initiative. I think it's really cool. So I check on my computer if there were the same association in Lausanne, and actually yes. So I tried to join START. Yes.
So you lived the summit experience, you liked it, and then you decided to join. I think that's a great story.
Yes.
And when you actually said what you do, you want to motivate more people to also start their own company and actually also help them. Do you think that there are not enough startups being founded from students or by students, or is there something missing that you actually tackle? Or asked differently, what issue do you actually solve with START in Lausanne?
I think there is different issues. The first one, for example, is like for students that just want to know and learn more about entrepreneurship. So for those students, we are trying to create events, workshops, and for example, we participate in the Entrepreneurship Week, where several speakers talked about topics related to entrepreneurship. We also organize a startup weekend. So the goal is to create your startup in 48 hours. It's really nice and really cool. We have several mentors who can help participants and also workshops. So really you don't need to have knowledge when you come to this startup weekend, and everyone can come. It's not only for students, but everyone. Last year we had some people like they were 40 years old. It doesn't matter. So I really like this concept. Then we have students, for example, that have an idea but don't know how to start. I want to start for example, they want to start their startup. So we have, since it's been this year it's the 10th edition. So we have the START contest. So the contest lasts for 6 months, and every student in Romandy for the moment can participate. So during several stages, you create your startup, and you have courses where you can gain skills and learn, for example, how to pitch your project. You are every project at every stage is presented in front of a jury, and the best projects are selected, and then they will proceed to the next stage. And finally, at the end, we only have 6 finalists, and the winner can have a funding of 30,000 francs to launch the startup, but also a follow-up for 3 years at Genilem. And so we have multiple issues, I think, in the ecosystem. And the last one, we have only one event, but it's for startup that needs funding. And we organize the Road to Start Summit. So startup can pitch their idea in front of jury and win a direct pass to the Start Summit, where this time they can pitch their startup in front of VCs.
Awesome. So you really support and tackle the issues of getting started with your company until the first funding round, basically. I think that's fantastic. And in order to actually make that happen, you also need a team, right? So who else is part of your team and what experience do they bring to the table?
Yeah, in my team, I have 5 perfect vice presidents with me to help, one for each team. And this year we are 23 students in the association. So I think we are really lucky because we have students from EPFL, but from the University of Lausanne and from several faculty, so different backgrounds. And I really like it because every member can bring her or his own idea and knowledge, and we can use it as a strength by pulling everything together to find, for example, the best solution or to try to do the best event. And for me, it's really important that we are not looking for overqualified people. You can be whoever you want to try to go and join START Lausanne. When I joined START Lausanne, for example, I didn't have a lot of knowledge about startups and entrepreneurship, but I really wanted to try. And it's really cool because you learn something when you are in START Lausanne. And finally, we have this team in Lausanne, but also we are part of an international network. So it's the START network. And every member is in this network. It's called chapters. So we are a chapter and we have 10 different chapters in Europe. And the one who was founded first is START Global, who is located in St. Gallen. And for example, organized the START Summit, also the fellowship, and for example, the START Hack.
Fantastic.
Yes, and finally, I have a lot of things to say, sorry, but we are working together because we are in this network, but we are working together and doing common events. For example, the Road to Start Summit, every chapter is doing this Road to Start Summit. I think it's really cool.
I think also 23 people, that's quite a cool number and also a bigger team than one would probably expect from the outside. So that's great to hear. Can you also share some of the milestones that you recently achieved with your team? So anything that comes to mind in the milestone area?
So I think the main one was to cope with the COVID measures and all the COVID situation. So this year, the team contest managed to do all the contests online. So it was not easy, but I'm really proud of them. So now we are using the Moodle platform, where every participant can see the courses and also ask questions on the forum. And our idea is now to have the contest in Romandy, but we would like to expand it in Switzerland. So I think this milestone will also help us in this vision.
So COVID is one challenge, but are there also any other challenge, or what would you describe as the toughest challenge that you had to overcome with START Lausanne over the past 1.5 years since you joined?
I think the biggest challenge was to deal with the often changing measures of the COVID, because we had to reorganize and imagine how the association will work with the pandemic. So, for example, for the marketing, we are not just doing now. We also stopped doing all the promoting the association on the campus. We had to switch everything online, for example, on the social platform. but also we had to change like the events, just create new events and not just doing Zooms, for example, trying to use new platform and just try to innovate. And we need to do this because we are an entrepreneur club, entrepreneur association, and so we need to be able to have this kind of new events, different events.
And as an entrepreneur club, as you just described yourself, you're also part of the local startup ecosystem. And I just wonder, with your perspective, what is the startup ecosystem doing well in the Romandy?
I think it's doing really well because there's so many things happening in in Romandy. For example, we have workshops, event, contest, interview also that you can read. And the only problem is that those different things are not in the same city, for example. So this year we wanted to create, we start a new local network where we can put everything together and to share to every student. For example, if we have the Innovation Time Geneva, who is doing an article, we can share it to people in Fribourg, in Lausanne, and also in Neuchâtel. Or for example, the contest, the START contest, we wanted like to open to every student. So now it's really cool because we have students in, for example, in at EHL, we have a student in Geneva, in Fribourg, and also in Neuchâtel, or for example, Glion. So I think it's cool, like people can see and students can see that they have so many possibilities. And I really like this.
Yeah, me too, actually. But how do you actually put that in practice? Do you build your own technical platform to inform everybody and have everyone in the same place? Or how do you actually execute this vision of having all the stuff in one place?
Okay, so honestly, we only have a WhatsApp group for the moment. I need to develop it this semester because I created this project. So now I just contacted the association, different association, and we had our first meeting, but we are still, for example, discussing about the name that we want. But I hope that the platform and all the network will be available at the beginning of the year. But we want to do, for example, events together, like just to meet after the COVID situation, like to meet together, to create, for example, a common newsletter, like to share to everyone. And yes, that's it for the moment. It's really the beginning, but I think that if we work together, we can do, I think, a really cool thing.
Yeah, and step by step, you will get there. It's that simple, right?
Yes, exactly.
So on the other hand, from your perspective, what is still missing or could be improved in the Romandy ecosystem?
So yes, again, I think that I can say that this network, we're missing the Romandy network, if I can say it like this. But also I think that there is not enough events or workshop or whenever, not enough events or workshop more tech oriented. So I think that we really have the opportunity to have the two campus, like the campus of EPFL and UNIL, really next to each other, and that we can do really cool things together. So I think it's really cool if we can just bring together people from EPFL and from the University of Lausanne, for example, to create projects together, but more tech oriented, because we have so many startups and so many firms that are doing, for example, fintech or tech. Yes.
Right. And I think there's actually one advantage that you have, because here in the German speaking part, everyone is talking about bringing the University of St. Gallen from the Far East and the ETH in Zurich together. And you basically have both universities in the same city, the EPFL and the University of Lausanne, which is actually per se a great combo to have, I would say.
Yes, it's really cool. And also in the I met the member of the entrepreneur club in EPFL, and we are working together doing common events. I think this is really cool because we are both doing entrepreneurship but we want to do events about this, but we're not doing exactly the same, but it's cool to work together also and not thinking about this like a competition.
Now we also wonder what is next for START, but also for you personally. So what are your plans?
Oh, wow. I don't really like to project myself, but so I'm finishing my bachelor this semester, actually. And I want to start my master in data science, next year, in February, sorry. And honestly, I don't know. I still want to work with START, like just to continue to expand START, to do new things, to have a new vision about START. But also I want to work with the Swiss Solar Boat project because I really like it. Because when I was younger, I was in the national team of water ski, and I attended, for example, competition, the European and World Championship, and I spent all my life in boats. So I really like this project also. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I just want to go and see.
Keep going and keep executing, basically.
Yes, exactly.
So you already revealed some personal details, and we also prepared some rapid fire questions for you to get to know you a bit better. Like, Tatiana, who is the person behind all these initiatives that we talked about? The first question for you is, did you have any role models as a kid?
Yes, I had a role model. It was that, and it's still the same. You don't need to be perfect in one thing. For me, for example, I prefer to do more different things, but just to be happy to, for example, when I was younger, I was doing piano, I was doing my study, I was doing also water ski. So it's really cool, like to try different things, not related, for example. And yeah, I prefer to be like this.
Nice. And is there anyone that you that you admired the most?
Not one person. I just admire every person who can surpass themselves and also get out of their comfort zone. So it could be someone in sports, someone in their studies, or yes, in a project. It doesn't matter. I really admire people who can like just say like, okay, I can do it, and just really do it actually.
Nice. That's the spirit. And the last question for you today, what is one of the things you would put on your bucket list that you absolutely want to get done before you die one day?
One day. So I don't really like just to see myself in 5 years. I prefer like just to live day by day. So for example, at the end of my presidency year, if I can say it like this, I really want to have the feeling that I've accomplished my task and also have managed to motivate every member of my association to surpass themselves. And above all, like to know that the future of START is in good hands.
So it's a lot about personal growth in that regard, I would say.
Yes, I like it because I like to check on myself, like, where were you 1 year ago? Where were you 2 years ago? And just to say, oh, wow, you accomplished so much, like, keep going. I really like it. I don't have, for example, a dream job. I don't know where I'm going to work in 2 years or in 3 years, but yeah.
I hope people listening to this can also take that as a take-home message to get inspired and to really get themselves a cut of that kick-ass spirit. I really like that a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Tatiana. It was a pleasure to learn more about START in Lausanne and also about your other projects. And we wish you all the best for the future projects and initiatives that you will be part of, and lots of success. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sylvain.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, you can support us by rating our show on Apple Podcasts. This way, we can reach an ever-growing number of aspiring entrepreneurs.